and welcome back to Beauty Bee. We talk quite a bit on this channel about how the beauty community on YouTube has a bit of a habit of being in a cycle of new. A new product comes out, they talk about it for a week, 2 weeks, and then we're on to the next thing. This cycle, at least in my mind, has continued to accelerate. It used to be you could be about one product for a month, 2 months. Now it's almost 3 days, tops, sometimes a week. Today I wanted to talk about a few items that were really hot on YouTube at one point, and they seem to have just disappeared off this site. Now obviously there are some products that were just destined for obsolescence. One that really pops to mind is the little silicone sponge that people would use to apply their makeup. And like cushion foundations. Yeah, those weren't gonna last forever. Those were just a fad. Really cushion anything. Do you remember when they used to have all these like cushion blushes, cushion bronzer, cushion concealer? I'm glad we're past that. That was a little silly. These items, I'm less sure why they have disappeared. They seem to fit in with the style of makeup that I see people on YouTube doing, but we don't hear them mentioned anymore. They are victims of the need for new. Let's start with some lip products. The first one I think of are the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. Now, I've owned a few of these over the years. They're a liquid lipstick formula, but they're not the dry down, super matte, almost bulletproof version of a liquid lipstick. They're pretty soft. They apply sort of like a lip gloss. They feel a little bit pillowy, and then they dry down just a little bit on the lips. They're never fully transfer proof, and they're not meant to last all day. You will definitely have to reapply. I remember Kathleen Lights in particular had like a huge collection of these, and I think that they would really fit what people want today. I saw people go gaga over the M Cosmetics Cloud Paints, which seemed like a very similar idea. But they're gone. I haven't seen them in quite a while. They're still in my drugstore. Actually, I think with the exception of one item, everything that I'm going to talk about today is still available, which makes it even stranger that they're not on YouTube anymore. Another product I used to hear about all the time and do indeed own are the Maybelline Creamy Matte Lipsticks. They come in these sort of square bullets. The shade I have is Almond Rose, which is if a bright pink can be a nude, that's what this is. Again, they're a comfortable version of matte. They last pretty well, but not insanely well throughout the day. You're gonna need to reapply. And they're soft on the lips. I can wear these for several days in a row without having any issue, whereas I couldn't do that with like a Kat Von D liquid lipstick or something. The last of the drugstore lipsticks I have to talk about are the Flower Beauty Petal Pout lipsticks. Really, Flower Beauty as a whole, I don't see a whole lot about on YouTube anymore, which is odd because I feel like it used to be much larger when they were still sold at Walmart. Maybe that was what ruined things for Flower Beauty, but I used to hear quite a bit about how these have a very luxe formula. While they might have fewer shades than some drugstore lines, I heard that the shades were very well curated, that they resembled more what you might find at a high-end line than with other drugstore lipsticks. And again, when was the last time you heard someone talk about these? Because I think it's been years. I never see these here online anymore. I don't know why they're missing in action. This next category just gets me. The YSL Rouge. Okay. YouTubers always called these Rouge Volupté. I am almost positive that these should have been called Rouge Volupté. Let me know. I don't actually speak French though I did check that on Google Translate. Let me know if I'm completely off. These were those YSL lip balms, and they came in a really pretty like silver tube, round, and they had the little YSL logo and sort of a filigree or something around where the lid came off. They were very pretty. They were also like $40. And you would see these girls haul them during like the VIB sale, and they'd be like, this is such an insane lipstick. I can't believe I spent $38 on a lip balm. And I actually have a theory about what's happened to this brand in general, really. Because if I get an honorable mention, which I do because I'm making this video, it would be the YSL Touche Éclat, which is a like a highlighter concealer hybrid. It comes in a little click pen, and the idea is that you would apply it sort of under your eyes and then up towards the cheekbone, and it would highlight and conceal, brighten, all at the same time. I think that what really happened with YSL is that it got dethroned by Natasha Denona and Charlotte Tilbury. YSL in 2012, 2013, maybe all the way up till probably 2015, 2016, was the splurge brand on YouTube. They were the ones that people would pick up during the VIB sale. They would talk about how, yeah, it's expensive and I'm not sure it's worth it, but I like it. It was that brand. And I think that that kind of all changed with a single video from Tati, which was the, was it the lipstick or the nail polish from Christian Louboutin, if I'm saying that right, that was like $90 or something, her WTF series. I think that that just blew the lid off of how much people were willing to spend on things. And ever since, we've seen this, we've seen like the really expensive Natasha Denona palettes, which were just a flash in the pan when like the green and purple one and the blue one, I don't remember. They were like really big and they were like $200. We never see those anymore. But suddenly, after she started doing those videos, it became a thing to try the most expensive items. And I think the idea of spending $120 on a Natasha Denona palette, or what is it, $70 or something for a Pat McGrath 6-pan palette, suddenly seemed more and more normal. Let's keep with another luxury product that has just fallen off. This is the Lancôme Monsieur Big mascara. Do you guys remember this? This is just in a very similar vein. It was the expensive mascara that everyone tried. That and the other one from Lancôme, the Hypnose Drama, I think. Probably saying that one wrong because I did not actually check that on Google Translate beforehand. This to me seems to have been replaced by the Charlotte Tilbury number 2 as the mascara that, again, people say, I know it's really expensive, but either they feel it's worth it, or they are, it's not worth it, but I really like it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Not the approach I like to take to mascara, but I can see the appeal. Now let's move on to the very opposite end of the spectrum with the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This is a very soft, very light gold highlight. I actually own it. It is just a hair bit dark for me in winter, but it seems to work pretty well on a pretty wide variety of skin tones. Maybe not super fair like me, but fair to medium-ish. And I believe they've come out with a couple other colors over the years. So this doesn't really have any glitter in it. It's a really soft, nice glow. It looks pretty natural, actually. It's more reflective than sparkly. And I think we are more or less past the era of the rainbow highlight or the green highlights. I think a lot of people are on a pretty natural path with highlight now, and I'm not sure why I don't see more people reaching back into their collections for the Pure Nude, because it seems to be what people are interested in now, but they still aren't using it. It's so frustrating. Let's save palettes for the very end and talk about a couple other drugstore complexion products. The Wet n Wild Contour Duo. Do you guys remember these? They were a really big circular compact. Maybe that's a little bigger than they actually were, but not by a whole lot. And one side had a matte bronzer or contour shade, and one side had a highlight that I believe was also matte. I never actually owned this, so I'm not 100% sure. I think it came in 2 shades, and it was sort of a go-to on 2013, 2014-ish YouTube of anyone. It's the first contour product I remember seeing. Then it kind of started to fade when all of the really big contour kits came out, like the ABH one, I think was probably the biggest. Oh, the Kat Von D and the NYX one. Those blew up, and suddenly you didn't see the Wet n Wild one anymore. It's still around. I saw it at my drugstore within the past year, but no one uses it anymore, even though we seem to be turning away from those really big contour kits and back to, you know, like a Film Star Bronze and Glow, or the little Kevin Aquan duos for contour. Do me a favor, if you have any of these products, can you let me know if you still use them? I really want someone to still be using their makeup. Please. Final face product, the Milani Baked Blushes. The go-to shade for everyone, it seemed, was Luminoso, which was like a peachy shade. These were shimmery, very glowy, but they had a decent amount of color payout, I think, and they came in a pretty good variety of colors, if I remember correctly. Yeah, glowy blushes are back, but the Milani Baked Blushes are not. Can't say I understand it, but oh well. Now for 2 palettes. These were the biggest hits on YouTube when they first came out. The first is the Colourpop Yes Please palette. This was a very warm leaning sort of half neutral, half colorful. It had sort of warm, orangey-ish neutrals, and then a red, an orange, and yellow. Now that was pretty bright for, I think, what was it, 2016 YouTube, when it was just all neutral all the time. But I don't feel like I ever heard a bad review on it. People were going gaga over it, and I think for a lot of people it started a bit of a Colourpop buying frenzy. Now I think that you could absolutely bring this out today and a lot of people would be like, it looks like everything else. It wouldn't necessarily be a huge hit today, but I think it would fit in. I think Colourpop has kind of shot themselves in the foot with this one. They brought out a couple of really, I think, pretty good palettes at the beginning, and now they keep releasing decent to good quality. I've never actually used a Colourpop shadow. That wasn't a super shock, so forgive me if I'm completely wrong on this. But it sounds like these are decent to good quality palettes, but they release one like every week, at least, so no one can keep up, and no one can, it seems like, even get excited about some of their older Colourpop releases anymore, which is kind of sad. This one I feel like it could still be a hit if you put it out today. The Beach Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. This had some very bright pops, and it was, again, half neutral, half colorful palette. I remember seeing this in 2017 when it came out, 2016 when it came out. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. I remember seeing this on both Emily Noel and Tati, and them giving like glowing reviews of it. And for a few months after that, I would still see it, both with people who liked generally more neutral makeup, and then, but also like Daniela Knickvist seemed to really like it. Hope I'm saying her name right. I'm not 100% sure on that. And now it's gone. It's that half colorful, half neutral palette that people seem to really dig. But true enough, it's not in stores anymore. This is actually the one item that is no longer available on this list. But it was still, it's been available until pretty recently. But I never see anyone pull this out of their collection and use it on camera. Let me know if you have seen any of these products in use recently on YouTube. I kind of have a soft spot for a lot of these, and I'd love to see people using them again. Thanks for watching. See ya!